This is the time and place for a city commission meeting in Huron, South Dakota, Monday, August 28, 2023. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Weinreich.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. Join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, agenda approval. Does the commission have anything to change or update or delete on the agenda tonight? Yes.
And I think maybe Mr. Valesky, do we want to add in executive session?
Sure, we can do that.
And this will be contractual.
Correct.
I'd like to add an executive session.
Tonight?
Just brief informational.
Contractual executive session.
Okay. Okay. We'll add that under
10.1.
which one?
10.1.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept or to approve the agenda with said amendment.
Okay.
Second.
We do have one other,
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry, with the removal of 7.2.
Yeah.
There is a little more information on there. So
Okay.
it's approved.
So,
I'll make
okay.
that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to add an executive session tonight. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. We also understanding 7.2 is going to be, who's going to,
7.2 is going to be removed.
yeah, will somebody introduce that?
We're removing it from the agenda, so we won't speak on it tonight.
Okay. But, okay, so I guess I'll speak on it then. 7.2 will be removed from the agenda tonight for follow-up in the future. So need a motion to approve that?
I think that, made that as a part of his.
Yeah, part of the agenda approval to remove that. So we just need
Did
to.
not hear that. This is, I'm telling you guys. All right, so I have a motion. Okay. Do I have a second for the motion?
We're going to have a second on the
Okay, we're done with it.
vote. Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on to public forums. Anybody here has anything they want to speak about on public forum tonight? Commissioners, none? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on from the public forum. Consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 4.1, minutes of August 21st, 23, city commission minutes. 4.2, fuel quotes for the city departments. 4.3, raffle. Cancer Ride Motorcycle Raffle, September 1st, 2023 through June 22nd, 2024. 4.4, personnel. Recommend transferring Danielle Brotherton from the circulation desk manager position to the children's library position at the Huron Public Library. 2, open and advertise the circulation desk manager position at the Huron Public Library. 3, recommend full-time status for firefighter Joshua Sterrett. 4.5, payment of the bills. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent.
Mr. Smith, motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Harvey. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, moving on to 5.1. Brett, are you going to speak on 5.1? Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Mhm.
5.1, consider proposal from vendor Sewer and Drain to complete cleaning and televising of the sanitary sewer mains. So, The ARPA money that we received from DANR that we applied for, we have to have final plans into them by March 1st, 2024 to receive that money. And then we have to be under contract for the improvements by the end of 2024. So we're on a big push here to get these projects out, the plans put together, and then get them out to bid this spring, let's say, right? And then that will be the next 3 years of projects for like water and sewer on what we're doing, right? And that ARPA money that we're talking about is a 30% match to what we're looking at. So, an effort to get 3 years of sanitary sewer main lining plans together and out the door for bidding. We need to clean and televise a larger segment of our sewer systems than Rob and his crew have been able to do on their own. And there's various reasons for that. They're not like a full-time cleaning and televising type crew with that jet truck. They don't have a full-time crew designated to that year-round, right? They kind of, and so there's some different things there. The other thing is some of these mains that we're looking at cleaning and televising are larger diameter, so it'd be easier to bring somebody in to do that. So we reached out, and Bender Sewer and Drain out of Mitchell, South Dakota provide a proposed cost-based fee, and it'll be per foot of $39,918.95 to do the mains, the sewer mains, sanitary sewer mains that Rob can't get to, so that we can get the televising back, the video, look at them, and put together our plans so we can get them out to bid and stay on track for this ARPA money. The reason why it's important to clean these mains and televise them before we bid them is, one, so we know what's there. Like we don't want to reline the sanitary sewer main if there's a separation or there's a sag, right? We actually have to go in and we have to cut those areas out and repair them, right? So we need to be able to see that, and then be able to put that on the bid so that the contractors can bid appropriately. So we recommend, one other thing is we budgeted $601,850 for sewer main lining in 2023. That project didn't go here yet because we enrolled it into the next 3 years of projects, right? So this lining would come, or this cleaning would come out of that funding that we've set aside. And we should be eligible to receive DANR money back on this cleaning that we're doing as part of design. So we recommend approval of the agreement and request authorization to proceed with it.
Okay. We have a motion on this item.
Move to approve.
Move to approve, Mr. Harvey.
Second.
Second, Mr. Smith. Any discussion with City Engineer Brett Rangy?
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Smith.
There was a map, Brad, a colored map
Yeah.
included in the packet. And I assume that those are the areas that this is going to be performed in? Is that the areas that we're doing under contract, or is that the whole project?
That is the areas that's included in this agreement for cleaning. It is
Okay.
not the whole project.
Okay.
Rob, our 8-inch mains and some 10-inch, he's already got some done and cleaned and videoed, and he's also got some that he's gonna continue to get here by this fall. So it's not the entire project. We do have more than that planned, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Seeing none others, so roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Wainwright.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. All right, Brett, how about 5.2?
All right, Mayor. Consider payment request number 2 to First Rate Excavate, Inc. for bid number 2023-03 Huron parking ramp removal and construction in the amount of $344,461.95. This is just a progress payment for the contractor on the Huron parking ramp that's been demoed now. It's been backfilled. The utilities have been installed, the water has been installed, the storm sewer they're working on currently. We ran into a little issue where we had a sag in a pipe and they had to repair that. And then the electrical has been installed. So the next step here you'll see this week is they're going to be putting down the gravel. And that's gonna include part of the crushed concrete pile that they have there on site, and then they'll have to bring in some more on site. The project is proceeding well, and we recommend approval of this payment.
Need a motion on this item?
Move to approve the payment.
Second.
Commissioner Bragg, motion and a second by Commissioner Weinrich. Any questions for Brett on this?
Could,
Yes, Commissioner Bragg.
to just follow up, you said this week, I mean, are we thinking that they might be able to park when people come for the fair, or?
No, that, it'll still be a closed site, yep, because they'll be putting the gravel down, compacting it, maybe using some water there, and then after that, they'll also probably be setting up, because they're gonna be pouring concrete would be the next step, so they're gonna be setting up forms and everything for sidewalk, curb and gutter. They plan to get, I mean, that's part of the project, is to get the curb and gutter and the sidewalk and everything in, before, this fall. The other thing that has been discussed, we were gonna wait to pave it until next year with asphalt paving. There is a possibility that we might pave the south half of it that doesn't have the amount of fill that the north half has, right? Right down through the center is gonna be a concrete valley gutter that kind of breaks the parking lot up into two pieces, right? So that south of that valley gutter, we may be able to work it out to pave that yet this fall. And that will be nice, because then the whole front entrance and everything will be open to the crossroads through the winter and to the restaurants through the winter, so.
So have they given you any idea when, as far as just getting the restaurant and the hotel back to having people be able to park up front, what their timeline might be for, I mean, if they, not assuming the asphalt, but just, the initial plan we talked about, getting the gravel down to be able to use it.
Yep, the initial plan is they should be in there by October 1st there, so. That should be good next month.
Need a motion? Just roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Ordinance and resolutions, 7.1. Brett, you have your name written down on this one.
Do you typically read these?
Yeah.
If you want to read it, I guess I can explain it.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes. Our city attorney, Tucker Gillespie, will go 7.1.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner, 7.1, resolution number 2023-14, designation of director and alternate director for Dakota Main STEM Board of Directors.
So if I may explain
Yes.
that, Mayor. So
Please do.
this is the Dakota Main STEM Board of Directors resolution here. They're really pushing us to get representation on the board here now. So what Dakota Main STEM rural water system is basically it's a dream at this point, right? It doesn't really, I mean, they've got bylaws and they're starting to look towards trying to set up and start rallying for funding and stuff. But what they're looking at is becoming a wholesale provider of treated water to their member cities and rural water systems across central and southern South Dakota, right? So it's gonna be a big area. I mean, they've got members all the way from the Missouri River, all the way over to Sioux Falls, right? And then down to Yankton and Vermilion, right? That are included in this. Basically at this point, the city of Huron has just been sitting in on meetings, I guess, and listening in on what's going on. There's no cost to it yet. They haven't required us to pay anything in yet at this point. It's been a suggested amount, and based on our size of around $2,500, we could donate in, but it's not being required yet. And I guess from our position right now, I'm not bringing that to the commission yet. We're still kind of waiting and seeing how this plays out a little bit. But I talked to the guys that are working on this, and they recommend that we just stay involved and keep our seat at the board to stay in the know, and that'd be this board of directors resolution. And so what it's showing is that I would be the representation for the city for now, and Rob would be the alternate director in case I'm unavailable. And this is something that can be changed later if this develops into something different. Right now, it's still unsure of whether we would purchase water directly through this Dakota main stem and they'd connect to us and we'd get that water, or whether or not it would be purchased through Mid-Dakota Rural Water System, because they're also included, right? So maybe it would just be the extra gallons that comes through Mid-Dakota. They've made it clear they don't really want to compete with other systems that are out there. But this necessarily, our additional water that we're looking at wouldn't necessarily be competition with rural water. I don't necessarily see. I mean, I think we would be open to get that directly if we wanted to. So that's kind of what this is right now. It's still, we're just sitting, listening, staying informed. It's still kind of a dream. It's kind of like Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark took years to get from the ground up to actually having, something in place, right? So that's the start of this right now. So we recommend this resolution, agreeing with it and signing it. And again, these positions can be changed if this develops into something more. Right now, it's just been conference calls that I sit in and on.
Make a motion to approve 7.1.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Weinrich to approve 7.1. Need a second on this item?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Smith. Any questions for Brett on this item? Yes, Commissioner Smith.
So Brett, you mentioned that we are not, the city is not an entity to this organization.
This
Or
would
we're
make
not-
us an entity. If we don't do this, they'll stop including us at this point, right, this organization.
Okay.
But there's no cost to be involved with this organization at this point yet.
By accepting the position of being a director and an alternate director for the board, though, I'm just thinking of liability on that down the road. Should there be a lawsuit that would ensue?
There's bylaws in place for those protection purposes, and we can review through those. If you wanted to table this, I could get that in front of Tucker and review through that the city is not exposed, I guess, in that degree. It's a little deceiving when they say director, because you kind of visualize that there's a board of like 10 people, but there's like 50 members on the list right now, right? It's like every community right now is the directors, I guess, at this point, as they're going through these meetings and developing their path forward, right? So, but yes, that is certainly, we could hold and we could review that.
There isn't an extreme rush to get this done, correct? I mean, is it more of a keep pushing it along kind of a deal?
I didn't think so. And then I received an email last week that they wanted as soon as possible, because they've got a third accepted at this point, and they're trying to see how many people are committed to staying involved.
Would the matter allow for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
One question, Mayor, if I may.
Yes, you did.
So let's say we do pass it tonight, and we go back, and obviously this can be amended at any time, correct?
Okay. The resolution can be amended.
Resolution could, yes.
Right. So let's say, if the 2 weeks is fine to hold off on it, the other thing is we could come back and amend it if something comes back that doesn't jive well after Tucker's reviewed it.
That would be another approach, yes.
So what is your, do we have 2 weeks to just hold off, or do we want to get it approved and then you guys will review it and bring it back if we need to change something?
The preference, I guess my preference would be is if the commission is in agreement with it, as long as we aren't exposed to liability, to approve it at this point. There are, like, again, many members that are this. I'm not specifically familiar with that piece of the bylaws that they've put together, right, that protect the directors off the top of my head here, so I can't answer that at this point. But I'm very confident that that's been covered.
And I'm fine with, not, not holding off on it if, just point of clarification, I guess.
No, I think it's a good idea.
That's fine if we don't table
Want to table it?
it. No, it's fine if we don't,
Okay, all right.
as long as,
We got a motion and a second, so we need a roll call vote.
Smith,
aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, moving on to departmental items. 8.1, we have Angela here tonight to come talk to us about 8.1. She's our director of our public library. Welcome, Angela.
So the library put together a strategic plan. We started this journey last November, and it went very quickly. We put together a strategic planning committee in November. It consisted of 3 community members, 2 board members, a commissioner, as well as 3 library staff. We had a little bit of turnover in that committee with some staff leaving. One of the members passed away, sadly. But we kept going, and we did a staff survey and a community survey in April. From that survey, the committee did a SWOT analysis and developed this plan. It was going to go for 3 years. The library board did approve it last Tuesday at our meeting. It lists 5 goals. These goals aren't in any particular order. They're goals that we want to do for the next 3 years, and the library board did give approval to work with the state library to develop an implementation plan to go forward. If I could read through the goals just quickly so you can get a sense for them. Our first goal is to maintain and increase outreach in our community. Our second goal is to bridge the language gap between library staff and patrons. I did not know this, but the school district of Huron has 16 different languages that are spoken in the school system. Goal C is to engage new and current patrons with current and strong library programming. Goal D is to provide library service for all patrons in the service area of Beale County. And the last goal is to plan for the library's future. These are kind of broad goals, but we want to get started. We don't really have a plan. We've never had a plan, so this is a good starting point. The board is very concerned that we don't want to just throw this plan into a drawer and never look at it again. So they have asked that I, at our meetings, provide a monthly report of where we're at with the goals. So there will be public record of that. The state library is really encouraging all libraries in the state to have a strategic plan. They're working very closely with libraries and encouraging them to do so. Any questions?
Any questions for Angela?
Just maybe you could bring up, how we became, not state certified or.
Oh,
Yeah.
the library is now accredited through the state library. We were not, we hadn't been for the past 10 years. So part of that accreditation is that the library board does 30 hours of continuing education through various sources with the state. And we can reapply every 3 years. So we are currently accredited through 2025. So there are 3 different levels of accreditation. We're starting at the first level as we do education and change library and staff and have training, and we can go forward with that. They have criteria for each level. The community survey results are also posted on our website. It was 23 pages long, so I didn't print it for each of you, but if you want to see what the community had to say about the library, it is on our website.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angela.
All right. Now, Commissioner Bragg, you can take care of 8.2 for us.
Yes, sir. Solid Waste Department rubble site will be closed on Saturday, September 2nd, and Monday, September 4th, in observance of Labor Day. Monday's garbage recycling and grass collection will be done on Wednesday, September 6th. Please remember to have your containers out the night before. If you have any questions, please call 605-353-8542. So again, no solid waste Saturday and Monday, and if you have pickup on Monday, that will happen Wednesday of next week.
Okay, thank you. 8.3, announce city offices will be closed and the city commission will not meet on Monday, September 4th, in observance of Labor Day holiday. So with that, we'll move into a work